All right, welcome to Old World Gaming. This is going a little bit off topic from my usual Night Goblin army, but I might have got a little bit sidetracked today. So I was looking at the pre-orders. I can't even remember why I was looking. Oh yeah, I do remember why I was looking at pre-orders. So this is obviously this is Whaling Games, because when I tried to get a copy of this on Saturday from Games Workshop, I couldn't get it. And today I was like, oh, you know what? I haven't checked any of the third-party stockists. So I came on and was like, no, find me when in stock. So yeah, no joy there either. And then I was just kind of having a look around and noticed the um, the Knights of the Realm box set is 30 quid. And I realized it comes with 2 units of knight in and knights. And that's a really, really good price. Because when the knights first came out, like 2004, 2005, let me have a look. I got a sprue here of something that doesn't have any dates on. One of these will have a date on it somewhere. There we go. 2000 and I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? 2003, that says. 2003. So Bretonnians came out in 2003. So when they came out, it was 15 pounds a unit of knights. So 15 quid a unit of knights, and that's 30 quid, which means that's the same price. Now obviously this is third party, but even 37.50 is not far off. So the knights are going for exactly the same price. Well, okay, if you buy them from here, they're going for exactly the same price as they cost when they first came out in 2003. That's 20 years ago. No, more than 20, 21 years ago. In fact, let's have a look at how much that would have been. I'm curious now. 15 pounds in 2003. 15 pounds in 2003. Um, in today's money. Let's see if that gives us what we're after. That's it. I can't be bothered to that. I just want Google to tell me the answer. In 2024. Let's try that. What's $15? No, not $15. I definitely put pounds. Okay, let's do GBP. Oh, that's in the wrong place. I'm not looking at what I'm doing. GBP. I wasn't planning on doing this, by the way. This is definitely not giving quite what I'm after. Fine, there was definitely an inflation calculator. Is that the same one? Bank of England? All right, fine. I have no idea what I'm doing now. Okay, I don't care about your cookies. Apparently I do. Great, necessary cookies eaten. Right, so 15 quid in, this is exciting, isn't it? 2003, there we go. What would goods and services costing 15 quid in 2003 cost in Feb 24? What are we? Fine, February 24. How much? 26.27. So there we go. So if so 15 pounds. So the unit of knights came out, a unit of 6 knights came out of 15 quid in 2003. That would cost 26.27 today. Times 2 is 50 quid, like 52 pound something, 52.50-ish. So to be getting them, so they are like well underpriced even from Games Workshop. Like you're getting a 15 quid discount. Is that? I don't know, my maths. But they're actually a bargain. They're cheaper today than they were when they came out. That is cool. I realise that this unit here does not get the same sort of discount. So this is what, 31 orcs. So when the box first came out, maybe 1998 was something like that. Something like 98 was the first version of the box, not quite this one. So it was, you got 16 guys with some metal bits to make the command, and that was 12 quid. That's got to be around 98, late 90s. Then when they re-released the box set, probably, do I have a sprue lying around close to hand? I don't think I do. It would have been in 2000. Yes, so it would have been 2000 when 6th edition came out. you got the monopose orcs with like double-handed weapons, like holding them above their heads, or one up, one down. And you got a command group sprue in that, with 3 plastic orcs. So they re-released this box set with the 16 guys plus the 3 plastic command guys. So that gave you 19 guys. And I think that was about, I think the boxes were about 15 quid, just like they were for the Bretonnians about that time. So I think 15 quid for 19 guys, and you get what, 31 in there, which is an extra 12. Yeah, that would be 3 more sprues of 4. So I don't know. Well, it's not 2 regiments. Let's put it that way. So it's not 2 regiments that were 15 quid when they came out. So arguably you get less in that box than you do in that box. So that's 30 quid's worth of stuff from the year 2003 for 30 quid now, which is a bargain. This one is less than 30 quid's worth of stuff for more, but it might be fine actually. Um, so let's think about this. Now I'm having to think hard. You got 4 sprues of 4 guys plus a sprue of 3 guys. Let's just say that's 5 sprues for 15 quid. That's 3 quid a sprue. Okay, 3 quid a sprue. In here you're getting an extra 3 sprues. So that's an extra 9 quid. So what's that? 24 quid. So let's say you're getting 24 quid of the year 2000 orcs in there. So let's go back to our calculator. So how much would 24 quid cost now? 42.3. So they're is that? So they're a bit over costed, but if you get them from Wayland Games, then they're actually cheaper, like inflation wise. Like pound for pound, they cost less than they would have done if keeping at inflation. So if they were just at inflation rate, that box set would cost 42.03. Games Workshop have upped them a bit. Fine, I mean it's old stuff, I guess. I don't know. And if you get them from somewhere like Wayland Games, where you get a 20% discount, most third-party retailers would do that. It's cheaper today than it would have been back then compared to everything else. So, okay, so that box set's fine. It's fine from a third party. You can't complain about that. But this one's actually the same price as it was in 2015. So how much should it be worth today? Did we just work that out? 30 quid in 2003. So that box, if that had increased in price at inflation rate, would be 52.50. So yeah, there you go. So you're getting like 22 quid off what inflation should be. This is a bargain box set. If you're going for Bretonnians, that is a really, really, really good deal. So there you go. See, that was definitely a sidetrack. But then I was like, oh, should I? I mean, I could buy some Knights of the Realm. I do have a Bretonnian army I need to put together. But I went and fished my box out. I wasn't gonna put this on the table, but I will. Oh, that's why books were there instead of this. Oh, I've got this hefty box of Bretonnians. I'm not going to go through it. But all that to say, I've got a lot of knights already. There's 20 knights there, so I probably don't need knights. But I realise I don't have enough horses for them, so I've just I'm going to be ordering some. And you can't order the horses separately, so I'm going to have to get some 3D printed. So I think I'll get some Highland miniatures, that's what it's called, horses to mount them on. There we go. I mean, however, I was super tempted to just buy that. But I've already got 20 knights without horses. So yeah, I'm just going to buy the horses. Anyway, but that is a really, really good price. So it got me thinking about Bretonnians. I can't remember where my mind went next. But whatever happened in my head, I ended up thinking about Bretonnians. I was like, oh, I could make my Bretonnians. I'm not going to do it yet. I will. I need to finish my finish. Is an army ever finished? The answer is no. But I want to finish what I'm doing my current kind of project with the Night Goblins first. But I thought I'd have a look through the Bretonnians and just see what's what, and maybe have a little bit of a scheme about Bretonnians. I've got the rulebook because I had a look at rules in there. Oh, something. Okay. No. Yeah. Well, come on. There's something that breaks my heart about the my goblins that I discovered today in conversation with a mate, and that makes me sad. But it's fine. Rules is rules, and we'll have to have to move on. But I will get there. I'll get there in a bit, and it's to do with my squig hoppers, which is why it makes me particularly sad. So yeah, I was having a look through a few key things that I noticed are pilgrims. This is really high. Let me just lower my screen down. And you know what? Actually, maybe I could just zoom in. And by zoom in, I mean make my screen bigger. So let me. There we go. Beautiful. Right, now you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, so Grail pilgrims, battle pilgrims. Now their stats are pretty lame. And they're 8 points for NAF stats. In fact, let's see, what are they? Weapon skill 2, ballistic skill, strength, toughness 3, so basically like goblin stats. Yeah, but they're leadership 8, which is loads better than a goblin. Men at arms, oh, actually, they're loads better leadership than men at arms. But other than that, stats are the same, and they're half the price. But you're never really going to use a men at arms leadership, like ever. You're always going to have a champion or a Grail monk. Plus, they've got warband, so they increase their leadership goes up for every rank. They've also got horde, so they can get an additional one. So like 6, 7, 8, 9. They're going to be leadership 9 until they've started taking casualties, because you'll probably take 20 in unit. I don't know. But either way, I don't know what levies does. I'll have to look that up in a minute. There's levies everywhere. What does levies do? Okay, I'm looking it up now. Sidetracked already. Let me just move that out of the way. I assume it's in here? I didn't see it in. Sorry, I'm making this go everywhere. Where would levies be? Oh, actually, we're not in a bad place. Where's L? Levies. That was very convenient. Okay. Models with special rule cannot use the inspiring presence rule of the army's general. Really? Really old ground rule of the battle standard? What? Therefore, units that don't have this special rule are not required to make a panic test when a friendly unit of levies breaks and flees from combat. They can't use the general's leadership. That was unexpected. So the leadership does matter a bit then. They can't use battle standards. Wow. Yeah, I didn't expect that. But fine. Anyway, as I've mentioned, they've got warband, so it kind of doesn't matter. They've got warband, they've got horde, champions leadership 6. They're going to be leadership 9 as long as they've got 3 additional ranks. And they're cheap, so that should be fine. Like, they're literally the same points as a goblin with a spear, and they come with spears. So they're basically the same points as a goblin. So yeah, there we go. Or I don't know. I haven't looked at goblins actually. The same points as Night Goblins. So yeah, I mean that's fine. But I got distracted. I was talking about pilgrims. So basically battle pilgrims. What makes these guys good? They've also got levies, but don't they have? Can't they use a Grail Knight's leadership? Is that right? What's this? Oh no. This is even far better than a Grail Knight's leadership. So as long as they're within, whilst the Grail Reliquary model is within 12 inches of friendly model that has a Grail vow and isn't fleeing, its unit gets immune to psychology and unbreakable special rules. Now I didn't realize that was limited to the Grail Reliquary, but that's fine. Unbreakable Unbreakable. 65 points. That's quite a lot. But it does count as 6 pilgrims. So 6 pilgrims is what? If there were, my maths is poor. So if there were 10 points each, that would be 60 points. Minus 12. So what's that? 40, 48? 48 points. And so you're paying another, what, less than 20 points. 15, I don't know, 17 points to up it to a Grail reliquary. So that's actually fine. 17 points. What are you getting for your 17 points? You are getting, you're getting all your attacks condensed. So it's got 6 attacks. So yeah, so you're getting all your attacks condensed into those 2 things for 17 points to condense your attacks. So that's good. The Grail reliquary. Ah, okay. So battle pilgrims. So as long as you've got the Grail reliquary, they get the blessing of the lady. If you don't have it, so you can take battle pilgrims without a Grail reliquary. And I was wondering about running them that way, but they don't get the blessing. They don't get these benefits, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. They don't get retinue of okay, so we'll talk about all these in a sec. So without it, they've got stubborn. Stubborn's all right, but you can get stubborn cheaper. And they've got hatred. So actually, yeah, they're lame. They're lame without the reliquary. Because you can get stubborn. I mean, hatred, they're not going to hit anything anyway. So hatred doesn't really help much. I mean, I'm sure it helps. But yeah, men at arms, half the price. You can get a blessed triptych, which gives you stubborn. So I'd much rather buy men at arms than take battle pilgrims without a reliquary. So there you go. So that's my first recommendation. Take a reliquary if you're taking battle pilgrims, because without it, you might as well just take men at arms. So, blah blah blah. The Grail reliquary never dies until it's the last thing left, because just some other guys jump in and pick it up instead. Standard bearer musician, yep, blah blah blah. So, as long as it's within 12 inches of a friendly model that has a Grail vow, has the Grail vow, and isn't fleeing. Wait, can Grail vow stuff flee? Aren't they immune to psychology? They basically never flee anyway. I think. Lance formation, Grail vow. Immune psychology. So, and they got stubborn as well. That's quite good. Yeah. So immune psychology. The only time they'll flee is from combat, so they'll be all right. So you can just kind of hang someone around and he's not going anywhere. So not fleeing, gains immune psychology and unbreakable. Now unbreakable is excellent, a very, very, very good rule. Because unbreakable just means that you, like, in a combat, the worst that can happen is you move back 2 inches from your opponent. Now that I've put this, so yeah, okay, I'm going back up again. Oh, don't mind me while I just adjust my camera. Because I can't open book because it came down too low. Okay. So, what am I looking for? Unbreakable. I've got you're unbelievable going in my head. You're unbreakable. That's how it goes, right? Unbreakable. Okay, if a unit with this special rule loses a round of combat, it's not required to make a break test. Instead, it will automatically give ground as it's pushed back by the enemy. Characters are not unbreakable, can't join units, and vice versa. So, give ground. Now, give ground. I've literally only played 3 games, but I'm pretty sure give ground is just the one where you move back 2 inches. Charge, flee, roll to hit, combat phase. Remove casualties, calculate results. Blah blah blah. It's long. Here we go. Breaks and flees. Give ground. Yeah, gives ground is just the unit gives ground as described on page 134. Is this not describing how you give ground? All right, and move. What? What's on 134? That amuses me. What is on 134? I thought that was giving ground. Giving ground and falling back is good order. Okay, fine. A unit that gives ground does so reluctantly, maintaining its formation while attempting to put a bit of much needed distance between itself and the enemy. When a unit gives ground, it moves 2 inches directly away from the enemy units or unit that causes to give ground without any turning, pivoting, or otherwise changing its facing in any way, stopping immediately should it come into contact with another unit or terrain. If continuing to move would bring it within an inch of so you can not have to move all the way back, but fine. So give ground there is move 2 inches directly away, which is what I thought it was. What is this? Loser gives ground. Why does it say, as described on page 134, then tell you exactly the same thing? Literally, is this not telling me exactly the same thing as what's on 134? It just made me go and read extra stuff. Yes, it does. And now it's just telling me some more things. Yeah, why point me to 134? That's weird. Anyway, whatever. So all that to say, unbreakable. Unbreakable means you just give ground. So that makes these guys amazing because they can literally tie up any unit. Anything. So as long as you've got enough guys, as long as you've got enough wounds to absorb hits, then they're not going anywhere. And I have found with my snotlings are like the weediest things, but 3 bases can tie up units for multiple turns because how many units can realistically dish out 18 wounds in a single round of combat? And because they're unbreakable, they're just giving ground 2 inches, and they've stopped that enemy charge no matter how hard the unit was. Like, I don't know of anything. Really? Maybe? Okay, let's have a look. What's the hardest thing I can think of? I don't know. I actually have not spent a huge amount of time, but for dishing out 18, I guess if you've got a character with a shed load of attacks, maybe. I think in something chaosy. Minotaur champions. All right, they're not units. Minotaur herds. They got 3 attacks each, but even then, you're not going to get 18 in combat. Dragon ogres, 3 attacks. A Shartak. I've never heard of a Shartak. I guess that's what champions are called. Is it just one? Yeah, one model to Shartak. Yeah, I mean, like, what's got Jamba Slice not a unit? Ogre Shaggoth not a unit? Like, what has got more than 3 attacks? Can Dragon Ogres take a mark? Chaos Mutations. Doesn't look like it. Do they have Frenzy? It's the Quickening Storm. Does that give them Frenzy by any chance? But even then, they're big, so you can't get many of them in base contact. I'm thinking maybe like Chaos Warriors or Chaos Knights, something like that. Where are they going to be? Chaos Knights. Even Chosen Chaos Knights have only got 2 attacks. Can they take 2 hand weapons? What have they got? Hand weapons, heavy armor and shields. No, but I imagine Mark of Corn will give them Frenzy, but that's only 3 attacks. What about Chosen on foot? Are they a thing? Chosen Chaos Knights. Those weren't on. Yeah, they're not on foot. We've been mega sidetracked now. I was literally talking about Bretonnians a second ago. Chaos Warriors, Chosen Chaos Warriors. Okay, they've got 2 attacks. Additional hand weapon for 3 attacks. Mark of Corn, possibly. I've not looked at the marks yet. They're at the back, are they? I'm assuming Mark of Corn gives them Frenzy. Like, that would be so unusual if it doesn't. Marks of, here we go. Mark of Corn, Frenzy, fine. So 2, 3, 3 for additional hand weapon, 4 attacks. So if you've got plus champion and a Chaos Lord of some sort, or a Chaos Hero, yeah, it's not unreasonable to imagine you could have a Chaos Lord with a ton of attacks. So what's that? 4 attacks, 4, 8, 12. 16. 4 guys will get out 16 attacks, plus a champion, 21 attacks, and probably switch a Doing Out for a Lord. Not going to get many more attacks unless he's got a magic weapon that gives loads of attacks. Even then, you are not going to actually hit and wound with 18 wounds. So I think even, I mean, maybe there's other things that could do it, but that feels like the most attack heavy unit you could get. Even then, you're not gonna do like hit and wound with 18. So I think if you've got like 18 wounds in an unbreakable unit, you're good. Like I say, for the Snotlings, 3 Snotling bases. Snotling bases are what? Were they 35? No, it's Raving Hordes. I literally was just looking at it. I think they're either 35 or 40 points. I can't remember. Snotlings, 35 points. Yeah, they're just such a bargain. They probably are too much of a bargain. Oh, I didn't realise they have Vanguard. Good to know. That is good to know. Why would I take Open Order? Well, I can take Skirmishers. Vanguard. Anyway, 35 points. So what's that? 3 of those. 90, 105 points. 105 points for 18 wounds. Compared to what 10 is 80 points. 20 is 160 points. So actually, the Snotlings are better value looking for an unbreakable unit. But let's pretend we didn't see that. Yeah. Okay. Now I want to know how many I've got. Because I saw they are quite expensive. So on Wayland Games, I'm just going to leave this here. On Wayland Games, the Reliquary was 40 quid, and the pilgrims were 50 for 12. That feels really expensive. But I think I've got quite a few. Okay. Whoa. Right, here we go. Here's a bag of pilgrims. Let's see what we got. I think it's more than 12. I think if I've got 20 in total, that'll be good. So there's a Reliquary in there with its guys. Interestingly, I mean, there's only 4 guys in a Reliquary, but they get 6 wounds. Maybe the dead dude on top and the dog count. Anyway, 6 wounds for that. And then there's what? 4, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 plus 4 is 28. But that takes up the space of 6. So 30. So I've got 30. Like, if that counts as 6. So that's good. Very good. And wouldn't you know, and maybe this is what it was before, maybe that's why I've got 30, but the unit size is 5 to 30. That's interesting. What does the did it say the Grail Reliquary counts as 6? Counts as 6 models. Occupies the space of and counts as 6 models. So if it counts as 6 models, I assume that they come out of the unit size of 30. So there we go. So I can make a maximum unit. Just put these words back in here. I don't know. To be honest, I feel like 18 wounds is a good number to have a unit that's gonna survive and not go. But it's probably overkill because I don't imagine most units in combat will dish out more than, I don't know, 10 wounds, let's say. So basically, the idea behind Grail pilgrims, or certainly what I would use them for, is literally to march them up, take a charge, only be pushed back the 2 inches, and then have some knights of some sort charge in the side. That's basically what they're for. So you need enough to take that charge. So if you had, let's say, 20 guys. You know what? I've got this old world builder. Here we go. Let's have a look and be lazy and let someone else work it out for me. Sure, 2,000 points. Doesn't matter for now. I just want to know how much. What am I looking for? They're not core special. Battle pilgrims. How much is 20 battle pilgrims? 20 battle pilgrims. Oh, and a Grail reliquary. So actually, I'd get rid of 6. Okay, so that is 177 points. So there you go. That's a unit. It's really off-putting that it says 14 pilgrims and a Grail reliquary, because it's not upgrading. So like with a command group, you buy a guy and you upgrade a guy. But I think this is you just add a Grail reliquary. Yeah, you don't. So like these, you upgrade models. Oh, you can't see that because it's really tiny. Yeah, so for instance, with the Knight Errants, you upgrade a guy and it's plus 6 points, whereas these, it's just may include a Grail reliquary. So yeah, so there we go. So 177 points, that gives an unbreakable unit, which is going to survive, take a charge, and not care. They've also got stubborn, but I mean, I've got unbreakable, so I don't care about stubborn. Yeah, so there we go. So that is what I would use. Battle pilgrims for. And so I was having this conversation with my mate. I was saying, if I've got battle pilgrims, why would I bother taking men at arms? And because, well, I mean, they've got unbreakable, right? And so men at arms, to my mind, again, in a Bretonnian army, I think men at arms are just there to absorb a charge and let knights then come in and do the business. But they're not as good. However, after looking and seeing what stuff they've got, I realized they've got Shieldwall and can take a blessed triptych, which means they gain the stubborn rule. So, well, let's look at it. So the stubborn rule, which again is somewhere in the middle, not quite there, I guess. As wonderful as that picture is. Has he got giant crab claws? Don't really know. He's got size. No, it's some. Anyway, distracted by like the smoky things coming off. Right, here we go. Stubborn. There we are. So, stubborn. The first time this unit is required to make a break test, it may choose not to, and will automatically fall back in good order instead, even if the unit strength of the winning side is more than twice that of the losing side. A unit that isn't stubborn doesn't become stubborn when your character is. A stubborn character cannot use this special rule or part of a unit that is not stubborn. Fine. So basically, first time they're required to make a break test. So let's say we're using this unit to move up ahead and absorb a charge so that something can flank. Either they like get absolutely decimated and have to take a break test, or I mean, I guess they could just fail a little bit and still have to take a break test. Either way, if they lose combat, they take the break test, or they could win. So those are the options really. So the first time they're required to make a take test, they can fall back in good order instead. So actually, I don't quite remember how the fallback in good order works. It's basically fleeing and rallying, from what I understand, but maybe not fleeing very far. I need to look this up actually. I didn't realize how little I knew about combat. Okay, loser fallbacks in good order, as described on page 134. But you're going to tell me here anyway. Moving directly away from the winning unit with the highest unit strength. Oh, okay, actually, it's not going to tell me. Okay, it doesn't, so I will need to go to page 134. Okay, so fallback in good order. Hasn't yet lost all courage, able to quickly rally its fighting spirit. Unit falls back in good order, moves exactly like a fleeing unit with the following options. When making its flee roll, a unit that falls back in good order rolls 2 dice and discards the lowest result. If both dice roll the same result, discard either. Unit falls back in good order, automatically rallies at the end of its flee move. So, I mean, fall back in good order is basically the same as give ground, except you just move up to 6 inches instead of 2. In fact, you could move 1 inch, right? So, yeah, fall back in good order is basically as good as give ground. Yeah, because even if you move 6 inches, the likelihood is they'll chase you. When a unit gives ground, what do you get to do if you've beaten a unit? Oh, interesting. So what is this? If this is just fleeing, give ground or fall back in good order. Oh, is that because like actually I don't know. All right, fine. Anyway, so give ground. So once someone's given ground, what does the opponent get to do? Follow up. Here we go. Most blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. So they can restrain and reform rather than making follow-up move. To make a restrain test, test against unit leadership. If this test is failed, unit must either follow up or pursue. Test is passed, they make a free reform, which is actually quite good. So if you don't want to be baited, then you can restrain. Fine. Follow-up. A unit can make a follow-up move when an enemy unit it was engaged in combat with gives ground. A unit that makes a follow-up move simply follows the enemy unit, moving back into contact with it. 2 units become engaged in combat once more, remaining locked in place until the next player's turn when the combat will continue. Change facing. Before making a follow-up move, a unit may change facing by performing a free turn maneuver. How does that help? Because you're literally going to end up... What? Before making a follow-up move, how do you even turn 180 degrees and follow a unit up? A unit that makes a follow-up simply follows the enemy and moves back into... Oh, I see. Oh. Before making a follow-up move, a unit may change facing by performing a free turn maneuver. Is that... Okay, so that is, you charged me in the rear, and I somehow managed to win combat. So I follow you up and turn my unit around. Okay, fine, I get that. Pursuit. A unit that won combat can pursue a single losing unit that falls back in good order or flees. If there is more than one losing unit, yeah, fine. Once all units have completed their moves, pursuit moves are made one at a time and in an order chosen by the controlling player. The pursuit move. When a unit makes a pursuit move, pivot it about its center facing directly towards the enemy unit it's pursuing. Make a pursuit roll. To make a pursuit roll, roll 2 dice. So this is, when was this for? Falls back in good order or flees. Okay, so this is the one I'm interested in. Make a pursuit roll, roll 2 dice, rolls distance in inches the pursuing unit moves, moving directly towards the unit's pursuing. Okay, so fall back in good order is basically a d6. And pursuit move is 2d6. So you almost, in all likelihood, you're going to catch the unit and be back in combat if you choose to pursue and don't choose to restrain and reform. So there's very little difference between give ground and follow up and fall back in good order and pursue. So there we go. If the unit completely destroys this enemy before, yeah, fine. You can overrun. Great. Okay, cool. Catching the curs. If the enemy unit fell back in good order, the units become engaged in combat once more, becoming locked in place until the next player's turn where the combat will continue. So it's the same combat. The pursuing unit counts as having charged. Okay, so the difference between falling back in good order, I guess you don't get charge bonuses, which is fine. And you just carry on fighting. Okay. Yeah, so there we go. So fine. So that was looking at the stubborn, like what stubborn does. So stubborn is you can first time the unit is required to make a break test, it may choose not to and will automatically fall back in good order. So, but you might choose to. But this is only the first time, so it's use it or lose it. So the first time, I guess you may want to just bait them in, fall back in good order. I'm not sure. I can't immediately think of a reason why you wouldn't want to use stubborn. Okay, so anyway, they've got stubborn. They've also got Shieldwall. They only have stubborn if you get the Blessed Triptych, which is 25 points. Bargain to give stubborn. They've also got Shieldwall. Let's have a look at Shieldwall. Shieldwall. Once per game, during a turn in which it was charged. So, just looking at the trigger difference, stubborn is the first time this unit is required to make a break test. Okay, so that's got a definite point. Shieldwall, once per game during a turn which it was charged, so not the first turn that it's charged. A unit with this special rule that's arrayed in close order formation and is equipped with and chooses to use shields may give ground rather than fall back in good order. So that is move the 2 inches instead of d6 inches. And then if your opponent follows up, they don't count as charging. So it kind of still takes the impetus of the charge out. Okay. All right. Good to know. So Shieldwall and Stubborn. So basically, these guys are probably as good because they've got those 2 rules. In fact, they are as good because that's like a 1-use only unbreakable, right? Because they can give ground. So Shieldwall just lets them. So Stubborn means they fall back in good order. Shieldwall lets them turn that fall back in good order into give ground. So it is a one use only unbreakable on the turn they charge, and that's the only time. So if the objective is to bait a charging unit and take the brunt and keep the unit in place so that you can then attack them in the flank with some knights of some variety, then actually that's fine. So yeah, so men at arms. Actually, I'm kind of so I was in a position, like I say, but when I was initially when I was talking with a mate, that was like, well, battle pilgrims are amazing because they're unbreakable. Why would I ever take men at arms? But actually, men at arms are cheaper, and so okay, all right. Let's look at those points then. Men at arms, core units. Men at arms. So I think, I mean, 20 is fine. Wow, I mean, you could even have 10, right? Why would I? Because I need some left. Okay, so we need enough to absorb the damage. What's their arms? I mean, like, you're hitting them on 3s, possibly hitting them on 2s. If you're weapon skill 5, you're hitting them on 2s. I think that's right. Let me just double check that. But I'm pretty sure if you over double your opponent's weapon skill, you hit on 2s. There's got to be a chart around here somewhere, right? To wound, where's the hit chart? To hit, okay. So, yeah, if you're over double, so if your weapon skill 5, you're hitting on 2s. So if you over double, you're hitting on 2s. So basically, everything's hitting them on threes. Oh, let me just go back here. Yeah, so the weapons good too. Everything's hitting them on threes, basically, or twos if they're like, I don't know, elves or chaos or something like that. They hit them on twos, or an elite unit of some other army. So they're gonna be hit a lot. They're toughness 3, so the most anything that's going to be charging these guys is probably strength 4 or more. So they're going to be wounded on 3s for the most part. Like these guys want to bait out the hard stuff anyway, so they're probably going to be wounded on 2s or 3s because it's going to be lances or just someone who's strength 4. And then their armor save is light armor and shields, but there's probably some AP, so they're not going to get much of a armor save. Do they get the blessing if they've got a Grail monk? It'd be nice if they do. Or also champion. No. That's a shame. Be nice if they had the blessing. Okay, fine, no blessing. So there's no ward save for them. So yeah, so they're going to get hit easy. They're probably going to get wounded easy. So we should take a decent sized unit. So let's find out how much a unit of 20 costs. Because 20 is kind of a normal sized unit. And we need the Grail Monk and his triptych at a minimum. So 112 for a unit that we expect to die but just hold. We could always give him some bits as well, 129, because it's like negligible. What's the difference? 112 to 29. That's what, 17 points. So yeah, there we go. So 129 points really isn't much for a unit that can absorb a charge. And what do we compare that to? 177 for 20 pilgrims. So I mean, there's not a huge amount in it anyway. What, 50 points? Yeah, 50 points is a fair deal. And we've got to take one of these. These guys are unbreakable, so can do it multiple times a game. These guys get the stubborn and shield wall once per game. But I think realistically, you're going to have one big opportunity to like catch an unsuspecting foe. But yeah, so both of these are good options for holding up units. I guess it depends if you want to be using your special for other stuff. Pegasus Knights, Questing Knights, yeah, Pegasus Knights are amazing. Okay, I don't have any mounted yeomen, so I won't be using them, and I'm not paying the monies for them because they are quite expensive. If I recall, I'm pretty sure they were well expensive. Games Workshop, Old World, Bretonnia. Mounted Yeoman, 45 quid. That feels expensive. Mounted Yeoman Command, 36 quid. So what's that, 12 quid a guy? Yeah, that's 12 quid each. Maybe that's fine. What were they? Let's go back to this. They were about 6 quid each in 2003. Show amount, 1051. So yeah, probably a little bit more expensive than they were back in the day. But only by like 150, so it's not horrendous. So yeah, by this reckoning, they should be 31.50, and they are 36. So it's not horrendous. It's £4.50 more, fine. And these guys were about the same as well. So what is that? 45 divided by 5. I feel like that should be easy. Is that 9 quid? Yeah, it is 9 quid, isn't it? So I mean that's not bad. So yeah, maybe they're fine. Mounted Yeoman, yeah, that's probably about what they were. All right, fine. So those are actually fine prices. It just feels like loads. Okay. Pegasus Knights. Yeah. I mean, you can't argue for £10 a Pegasus Knight. That's very good. Anyway, what were we doing? We were looking at this. So yeah, so that's what you're competing with is things like Pegasus Knights, Questing Knights, Squires. What do Squires have? Move through cover, Vanguard, Skirmishers. They don't have. Oh, they do have Scouts. You've got option for Scouts. See, Scouts. Do you still? Okay. Oh, Scouts is right there in my book. Scouts have got a bit better since like 6th and 7th edition because you can deploy right in the open now. Units with special rule may be deployed after all other units from both armies deployed anywhere on the battlefield that's more than 12 inches away from an enemy model. Oh, that's it. Yeah, so you used to have to be out of line of sight. And then there was chameleon skinks and possibly way watchers that could deploy within line of sight, but like 12 inches away. So now everyone can just be in line of sight. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I just thought you'd have to be out of line of sight. But there we go. So good to know. That's actually really good. Scouts. Anywhere that's more than 12 inches away from an enemy model. That's really good. That's so much better than it used to be. I'm just thinking of something like Dwarf Rangers. Like, it used to be quite hard to hide them somewhere because you take like a big block of dwarf, like 20 Dwarf Rangers, and then have to try and hide them on the board. But you just have to do them 12 inches away. Like, okay, where are Rangers and what do they come under? I'm the most sidetracked person. Rangers, taken as a core choice. And Rangers are rare. Interesting. 20 Rangers. So, miners. So here's what's going through my head is can I make a dwarf army that starts next to my opponent? Oh, yes, I've definitely got sidetracked. So uh, can you give any of the characters? Can any characters take scouting? Yeah, it's Emerald of Doom. Why am I looking at Emerald of Doom? Runesmith. What were the options? Dwarf Lords. Okay, Kings and Thanes. So there's no Thane that can take scouting from the looks of things. There you go. And there's no like ranger characters, are there? Engineers aren't engineers. They can't scout. Stand back, chief. Okay, so you can't have an entire army that starts on the opponent's side of the board. You have to take something, but it could be an engineer with a cannon, and everybody else just starts on the other side of the battle. That would be really funny. To just have a surprise your opponent with an army that starts on the other side of the board. These guys, there's nothing to say they can't be general, is there? Oh, that's cool. Entrenching gives them partial cover. Okay, right. This is probably long enough to be way off topic. So off topic. Meant to be on. Oh, it's got skirmish. Oh, Anvil of Doom. Yeah, nothing here that says they can be. Um, ooh, but will Bugman? Ooh. Okay, so here we go. This is if Bugman comes out as a special character that can scout, I am making a dwarf army that's completely scouts or miners, and that's how it's going. So my aim is to have an army that can start in my opponent's side of the battlefield. Um, Rangers. Okay. Anything else can scout? Like, I think none of these guys can scout, can they? I think it's just Rangers. Is there anything else that can scout? Longbeards. They've done it different ways in times because at one point Longbeards could be made into Rangers. Um, I think possibly Quarrelers could be made into Rangers. It depends on the edition. Yeah, Scouts, love it. Open open order or skirmishers, very good. Um, Hammerers, Iron Drakes. Yeah, none of these guys are going to be Scouts, Slayers, Miners. They have Vanguard and Ambushers. Ambushers is the thing. Right. I would look up how Ambushers works, but we're definitely way off topic. So just quickly, can any of these guys get Scout? They can get Vanguard, Skirmishers, but not Scout. That was the main thing that I wanted to see. Could these guys get Scout? Okay, cool. So anyway, that's one for another day. Is my dwarf army that starts in my opponent's side of the battlefield. That'll be fun. Um, just for giggles, really. Back to Bretonnians then. So men at arms, I think are good. Are they like from this morning or whenever it was, WhatsApp messaging going, oh, why would I take men at arms? Because battle pilgrims are loads better. Now deciding that men at arms are good enough. Yeah, they're very good. Um, yeah, I'd take them. And then it's like, okay, so what knights? Knights errant basically are rubbish Knights of the Realm. I say rubbish Knights of the Realm. They've got, weapon skill and why are Knights of the Realm ballistic skill 2? Because they probably make an effort not to shoot anything. Um, weapon skill 3 instead of weapon skill 4. Leadership 7 instead of leadership 8. Other than that, they're the same. Um, so, I mean, who wants a knight with weapon skill 3? Leadership 7 you probably don't care too much about because you'll have well, maybe you do. Maybe you do care about leadership on knights, actually. I was gonna say because like the general's leadership, but yeah. So interestingly, I don't care about leadership on battle pilgrims because they're unbreakable. Don't care on leadership about men at arms because they got um, stubborn and Shieldwall. So for the first charge, they're fine. Don't. No one cares if they run away later on. And if you've got enough of them, they'll have a decent leadership anyway. Knights Errant, I do care about. They've got lame leadership. They're weapon skill 3. They're impetuous. I just don't see any good reason to take them, to be honest. Unless I don't have many points, but then I'll be spending someone else. Knights Errant, not worth it. Knights of the Realm, gotta have them. So a unit of Knights of the Realm. I mean, they're not horrendous. One attack, meh. Weapon skill 4, one attack is. There'll be strength 5 on the charge. I don't really rate Knights of the Realm actually, but you've got to have one. So I begrudgingly take a unit of Knights of the Realm. Questing Knights. See, I like Questing Knights over Knights of the Realm. They're weapon skill 5, so they would be hitting men at arms on 2s if they wanted to fight men at arms. And they're strength 4 compared to strength 3, and they've got great weapons, which means not only are they strength 6, but they're strength 6 every round of combat, and sure, they strike last in like future rounds of combat, but still, that's fine. So they're strength 6 every time, and they've got what have they got? Heavy armor and barding, so they've got a 4+ save, which is fine. So they're okay. Grail Knights are better because, well, they've got 2 attacks. They're initiative 5, they're leadership 9, The weapon skill 6. Um, they'll be using their hand weapons, but do they Living Saints? They have something. The Grail variant gives them magic weapons, I think. Um, is it before or after this? Virtue, not virtues, no. I've not looked at virtues yet. Special rules. What's finest war horses? Makes charge me reroll any dice that roll a natural 1. Charge, flee, or pursue roll. Interesting. Good to know. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Grail Val. Immune to psychology. Cool. I think aren't they basically all? No, they got stubborn and reroll fear, panic, and terror. These guys ignore friendly, ignore peasant panic basically. Okay, so they ignore peasant panic. They reroll fear, panic, and terror, and they're immune to psychology. They also get these guys get stubborn, which we've talked about at length. And yeah, ignore peasants. So it just goes up and up basically. And they always benefit from the blessing. Don't have to pray. Good to know. Can't refuse a challenge, but anyone in the unit can accept that challenge, so that's fine. I can't remember why I was looking at them now. Oh yeah, the magic weapons. Magical attacks. Yeah, there we go. They have magical attacks. Which just makes them really good all-rounders because they can get in combat with. I mean, I don't know how demons work in this. I've not seen if they because they used to get a ward save against everything except magical attacks. Yep. And obviously, like certain undead stuff, you can only injure with magical attacks, that kind of thing. So that's good. So they've got lances, magic weapons. Their strength 4, so 6 on the charge, 4 in subsequent rounds, 2 attacks each, 3 for the Guardian, which is interesting. I'm surprised they've got a Guardian because I'm sure in previous editions they just all counted as champions. So to get a champion of champions is cool. I'm not going to complain about that. Take a magic stand. I don't even know what magic standards there are. A Grail Guardian may take a knightly virtue. And they can just like be well kitted out. Magic standards, they can take a magic standard and virtue and magic items. So all good. What about Knights of the Realm? Oh, magic standard and magic items. That might be worth putting on your Knights of the Realm. Let's see what we got. Standard is 25 points. So just 25 points of banner and magic items. Let's have a look. Can we make our... Oh, did he get a virtue as well? No, no virtue. Okay. Can we make our Knights of the Realm actually any good? Let's have a look. Magic items. Well, we can't. There's no magic weapons that are 25 points. Oh, you know what? Talisman. I don't care about that. I was going to say I'll have a look on the internet. I don't care about that. 20 points. Cannot declare stand and shoot charge reaction. Meh. I don't know how many units that can stand and shoot I'd be planning on wasting my knights on. Okay, so no banners from there, but let's add a Knights of the Realm unit and see what we can get here, because it's got all the other ones. Standard Bearer, Magic Standards, Banner of Honourable Warfare. Wait, why was that not in there? Is that in the Arcane Journal? Oh, didn't know about that. Unit carrying the Banner of Honourable Warfare must re-roll any failed rolls to what? A unit re-rolled failed rolls to hit against an enemy equipped with any missile weapons. Okay, fine. They really want to kill them missile weapon boys. War Banner sets +1 combat res. Yeah, fine. I mean, that's not horrendous. What's the Blazing Banner? Immune to fire or something? Oh, they gain flaming attacks. Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, so the banners are a bit meh. Not really bothered about any of those. So that doesn't help. And then magic weapons. Are there any? What can this guy get? Oh, there's quite a few options over here. There's loads of options actually. So swiftness is always strikes first. I'm assuming Berserker Blade. Ooh, Berserker Blade. That's +1 strength and +1 attack and magical attacks. Frenzy, which means you have to charge, but I don't think I'd care. It's kind of like, do I care? Maybe I care. Most of the time, I probably don't care. An extra strength. That's interesting. And an extra attack. So wait a minute. I mean, this might not be horrendous. Hear me out. So let's. Can I move that? No. So Knights of the Realm. We've got the first knight, 2 attacks. That's strength 3. So it makes him strength 4. So on the charge, the other guys would be strength 5. He'd be strength 4 because he'd have to use his magic weapon with an extra attack. So 3 attacks at strength 4. I mean, it's not bad. Instead of 2 attacks at strength 5. I don't know. Maybe it's not worth it. And the trade-off is having to charge everything all the time, all of the charging. Sword of Might is +1 strength, but probably not used. Biting Blade is -1 AP, I think. -2 AP and Armor Bane. Okay, so potentially 3 AP. Sword of Striking +1 attack. +1 to hit. But again, it's like strength 3. Burning Blade is fire attacks, fine. I don't think there's anything here that's worth it. Single use, D3 strength, maybe. Sword of the Stout-Hearted, this is new. Strength, what? What? Requires 2 hands, I don't care. What? Immune Psychology, Armor Bane, AP1. So it's a great weapon. Wait, it's a great weapon with magical attacks, immune psychology. But not okay. So it doesn't have doesn't always strike last. I think that's its benefit, isn't it? It's a great weapon that doesn't always strike last. So yeah, I mean that's not bad. That might be a thing. What's the Foe Breaker? +1 magical attacks. If an enemy model must take a toughness test, -1 weapon skill and attacks until the end of the next combat phase. Meh. Sword of the Stout-Hearted. That's not horrendous. What's this? Bears immune to poison attacks. Don't care. The Locket. Don't care. We looked at that a minute ago. Antlers of the Great Ant. Ooh. Ooh, there we go. There we go. That could be a thing. Yeah. Move through cover. No modifiers when moving through difficult or dangerous terrain. Model with this special rule rerolls ones and making dangerous terrain. Interesting. Okay, there we go. Assuming I'm not giving that to a better unit, that could be a goer because no one expects the knights to come bursting through the woods. Good to know. What's the Gauntlet of the Duel do? I mean, that's pretty cool too. Oh, you can give that to loads of people. Oh, yeah, blah blah blah. Yeah, but yeah. Oh, alongside other magic items from the same category, no limit to how many can be included in an army. Just give everyone gauntlets of the jewels. You shall not refuse my challenge. I mean, you know what? If that's actually not bad, because I can charge and wait, that's a bit of a weird thing to give me. Weird option to give. Yeah, Gauntlet of the Duel is not bad because you can take an enemy character out of the combat and your unit as knights can survive. So Gauntlet of the Duel is pretty good. Okay, so we go. Those are the goers. Gauntlet of the Duel, Antlers of the Great Hunt. Might be able to make a unit good with those. Fine. But other than that, it'll be take a small unit. What are they? 5 plus. You take 6, don't you? Right. Okay. So Knights of the Realm. Got to take some Knights of the Realm. Questing Knights. Questing Knights are cool. A single knightly virtue. Okay, I don't know anything about the virtues. Let's have a look at the virtues. What have we got? How many points? Did it say? Did it give us a limit? No limit. Interesting. So basically, this is where you start turning them into characters, isn't it? What? During a turn, a model of this virtue gains extra D3 attacks and hates all enemies. Wow. The trouble with D3 is it's unreliable. 1 to 3 attacks could be amazing, could be rubbish. Killing Blow and Monster Slayer, very good. Yeah, I mean these virtues, these are good. Reroll 2d6 when making a break test. Okay, sure. Yeah, I mean they're all stubborn, so I'm not sure I'd care about that. Gains Unbreakable, but cannot join a friendly unit. Interesting. Sure. Yeah, fine. Virtue of the Ideal. +1 weapon skill, initiative, attacks, and leadership. Cannot be your army's general or join a friendly unit. Okay, so these are basically for the lone guns. Fine. The Impetuous Knight gains Impetuous. How useful. Increases the maximum possible charge range by 3 inches. When this model and its unit charge, you may apply a plus D3 modifier to the result. Oh, sure. They can just charge further. Yeah. A model of this virtue may reroll any failed rolls to hit made against an enemy with a higher weapon skill characteristic than this. Can many people with a virtue, like, are they going to be fighting people with higher weapon skill? Most of them who can take virtues are going to have high weapon skill. 5+ ward save. Virtue Purity is a 5+ ward save. What other benefits for the blessing are there? That's it, isn't it? So it's 5+. But isn't that just a 5+ ward save until you flee? Okay, fine. Virtue of Duty. +1 combat res. What? Unless the general of their army has been removed from player's casualty, when this character can claim a bonus of +1 combat result. Character cannot be your general or join a friendly unit. So again, another guy on his own. Model of this virtue may reroll any failed rolls to wound when made using a lance. So just on the charge. Virtue of the Joust, fine. This model may reroll failed rolls to hit. Now that's pretty good. Okay, that's one of the better ones so far. Reroll failed rolls to hit. Virtue of Noble Disdain. Failed rolls to hit. First round of combat. Yeah, okay. Missile weapons. Don't really care about that. March roll within 8 inches. You know how. Yeah, interesting. I feel like most stuff with that can take a virtue is probably just going to be charging at the enemy. Virtue of Empathy, join a peasant, fine. If that's what you want to do. Okay, so there's the virtues. So going back to questing knights, they're all right. I think I'll probably be taking Grail Knights. They are expensive though, aren't they? They're like 12 points more expensive than questing knights. Wait, questing knights are Only 2 points more expensive than Knights of the Realm. I would definitely take Questing Knights over Knights of the Realm any day if I was allowed to, but I can't. So Grail Knights it is. And then Pegasus Knights, just amazing, like ridiculous. Heavy armor, shields, barding, 3+ armor save, flying, skirmishing, furious charge. I can't remember what that does. First charge disrupts your opponent. Counter charge. And the Knight's Vow. Is that just the basic vow? Yeah, it's the basic vow, isn't it? Knight's Vow. Okay. Just ignore Men at Arms Panic. So, okay. First charge. Yeah. Furious charge. Furious charge. What does Furious charge do? It's got to be around here somewhere. Where's F in the alphabet? Here it is. Okay. During a turn, it makes a charge move of 3 inches or more, +1 attack. Okay. The Pegasus has got 2 attacks as well. These guys are amazing. So what's that? So they've got on the charge 2 attacks for them, 3 attacks for them, +2 attacks for them. So each guy's got 4 attacks basically on the charge, and he's got 5. Very good. Very good. Yeah, so Pegasus Knights are awesome. How many would I take in a unit? It's 3+. I think I've got 8. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got 8. Would I take them as 2 units of 4? Maybe. Yeah, probably. Probably you don't need 8 in 1 unit. 2 units of 4. Or, yeah, you'd take them in smaller units than big units. There's no point taking them in big units, I don't think. I mean, you can take them in a lance formation. Why would I take them in a lance formation? Fly in a lance formation? Can you fly in a lance formation? I guess. That's a bit weird. Fly in a lance formation. Oh, interesting. Where's the lance formation? Blah blah blah. Lance formation and skirmishes. No, that's characters joining a lance. Character removal. Well, there's nothing that says you can't fly in a lance formation. That's interesting. Why would I want a lance formation if I've got a unit of like 6 of them, I guess? Yeah. Okay, sure. 6 guys in a unit. Lance formation would be worth doing. I mean, even 5? If you've got 5, I assume you don't have that guy there and you have the 2 guys on the outside, right? In which case, maybe it's worth taking Knights of the Realm in units of 5. Because it says you can have 5. Maybe I'll do that. Where's it even saying, like, the lance formation? Okay. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Ranks. The first rank, 1 model. Second round, 2. Third, so on as shown in Fig 110. That's in combat. Casualty removal, here we go. May remove models from the middle of the back rank rather than from one end as usual. Okay, cool. So yeah, so your outer is always kept. So yeah, take a unit of 5 Knights of the Realm. You don't get a rank bonus though, but everyone still gets to attack. That's good. I mean, it's unlikely you're going to use the rank bonus. I don't know. Maybe +2 ranks in combat for the extra knight. Maybe that's fine. Maybe you take 6. Okay, cool, good to know. But yeah, you could take 5 Pegasus Knights in a lance formation, and then, like, or even, could you take a character, 4 Pegasus Knights, fly in a lance formation, and just do a whole bunch of damage? Could do. Okay, so here's the next question then. Do you give them a banner and musician? Because like, I think they've got the options, haven't they? Pegasus Knight. Champion, standard, musician, magic standard up to 50 points. Yeah, so I mean 7 points is fine for a banner. +1 combat res for 7 points. Musician, win ties. Yeah, I'll take them. Feels a little bit weird. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like they'd be busy hitting people with their lances rather than using a horn or something. But maybe I can put it on his waist, dangling down as a horn or something. Okay, fine. So command group, yes. So would you take? You could take four Pegasus Knights and a dude on a Pegasus, and have a unit of have a lance. And that's not a bad shout, I don't think. Wait, there's our Empire guys. Gone way too far now. Yeah, so take a character on a Pegasus and lance formation, and prophetess may be mounted. Character mounts. Royal Pegasus. So you could put a prophetess on a Pegasus. So I was looking at these earlier. Here we go. Law of the Lady. So this one gives you +1 strength and their mount. And any unit they've joined get +1 to strength characteristic and their armor power piercing characteristic by 1. If you put a lady on a Pegasus, gave her that, because you can just choose these, can't you? Wizard of the Law of the Lady special rule may discard one of their randomly generated spells as normal. When they do so, they may select either the signature spell of their chosen Law of Magic or one of the spells listed below. So I can just choose that one to increase strength. And so we already looked at them. The Pegasus are strength 4, right? So does Pegasus get as it their mounts and any unit they've joined gain +1 to their strength? It doesn't say not the mounts. So, and it does specify their mount. So, strength 5 Pegasus sounds good to me. And the weapon skill 3, which isn't too shoddy. They're hitting most stuff on 4s. So, that could be a move. But it has to be a prophetess. Can't be a cheap um, a bargain basement handmaiden. They're 135 points. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. Plus the Pegasus is 30 points. So that's 165 points to give my Pegasus. It's probably not worth it, is it? But you get some extra abilities. If you're okay, so this is. I feel like I think I know the answer. I hope I know the answer. If you're a lady in a lance formation, characters joining a lance, where you used to be able to put them in the middle. They are placed on the outside of the lance, displacing should you wish. A character can take position in a command group. The first set in such blah 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 to displace. Required to retire, placed in the middle of any rank. Characters retired cannot fashion. Okay, so they can't anymore unless there's a special like lady rule that does it. But they used to be able to sit in the middle of the unit. So I guess a good job I checked that. Unless there's anything in here that says otherwise. Okay, Shield of the Lady, here we go. Is it something here? Yeah, we'll look at that in a sec. Magical attacks, fine. If the scout has joined a unit of unit strength of 10 or more, has a chivalrous vow, they may voluntarily retire to the rear of the unit at any time, move through ranks, taking position away from combat. Should they do so, they're no longer in the fighting rank, cannot make any attacks or return. However, they can continue to confer benefits to the unit in the form of leadership and special rules and may cast spells as if they're in the fighting rank. Okay, there's the rule. So, yeah, so you can put a lady in the lance formation, in the middle of the lance, and she can give them benefits. I mean, in that sense, like you put a damsel on a horse in your Knights of the Realm, she can give them strength 4, which ups them to strength 6. I don't know, is strength 6 all that beneficial? Maybe not. But the warhorse has got strength 4. What else did it do? Can't remember what else it did now. +1 strength. On the AP as well. So, yeah, I prefer it on the Pegasus. Strength 5 Pegasus just seems to be a bit better. But strength 4 warhorses is not shabby. Okay, fine. Okay, so yeah, ladies are good. Knight errants, meh. Mountain Knights of the Realm, meh. Questing Knights, good. Grail Knights, awesome. Pegasus Knights, the best. Mounted Yeoman, I don't have any of. Yeah, I just don't have any of. So, I can't bother to look at them. Hippogriff, I don't have a Hippogriff anyway, so you can't get them. So, not having Hippogriff. Trebuchet, have trebuchets. I've got 3 trebuchets. So I will have as many trebuchets as I'm allowed, which is 1 per 1,000 points. I feel like it's probably an auto-include, although it does. Okay, so let's, you know what? Let's work out what I would take in 1,000 points. Let's make this 1,000 points. What am I doing? Edit. Edit. Okay, 1,000 points. So core units, 20 men-at-arms and some. There you go. That's my 250 points done. Right, let's stick with that. What are special units? Pegasus Knights are special. Okay, so I think I don't know. Let's just leave all them. Squires. Did I put? I don't remember putting squires on. Oh, because they're scouts. And then I was like, do I need scouts? Don't know. What would I do with scouts? Try and take out a war machine? Are they hard enough to take out a war machine? Probably not. Open order peasantry. They probably suck in combat. I don't know if I need squires. Let's get rid of squires. They can slow an army down with their. Can you vanguard if you scout? Can you use vanguard? What's it say? After deployment. So can you scout and then vanguard? Interesting. There's nothing in either of those that says you can't, but I'm conscious that that is not the rule book. So let's have a quick look in the actual rules just to see. So what was it? Scouts and Vanguard. Oh, where's Scouts? Here we go. Blah 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 blah. Nothing in there that says you can't do a Vanguard after scouting. Vanguard. Nothing in there that says you can't do a Vanguard after scouting. After deployment. Yeah, I mean that's okay, interesting. So you could get an army right up in a unit right up in front of the enemy. However, that's risky if you are going to be giving away your first turn voluntarily to pray for the blessing. So, do I really want to scout and then Vanguard? Probably not. Open order. Interesting. Longbows, Esquire, Champion, Musician. Yeah. Fire and Flee. Yeah, don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what use I have for scouts at the moment, apart from maybe slowing down the enemy. I don't feel like I want to spend that many points. Or that many points. I don't know. Right, let's have some Pegasus Knights. Let's say 3 Pegasus Knights. Give them the stuff. They can take a Magic Standard. Magic Standard, eh? Okay, let's have a look. Tell me what Magic Standards there are for these guys. I'm pretty sure I don't want the Arbitrary Banner. +1 to Strength during a turn. Also gains Impetuous, of course. I mean, Impetuous. It's quite risky being a skirmishing unit with Impetuous. Conqueror's Tapestry. Interesting. Instead of 50, I think they're normally worth. Warbanner. I mean, Warbanner actually, on a unit of Pegasus Knights, Warbanner's probably very good. What's Rampaging Banner? Reroll charges, fine. Raise a standard AP. Armor Bane, yeah. Iron Resolve, Stubborn, yeah. Okay, so which one did I say? Warbanner. Yeah, probably a Warbanner is worth doing actually. 24 points for an additional combat bonus. But you kind of want to be killing everything. Like Pegasus Knights, their job is to just destroy the enemy with, so maybe a Razor Standard. Armor Bane is only for 6s, is it? 6. Armor Bane 2. Yeah, so I think somehow you need to make this unit just destroy stuff. So anything that gives it like extra damage. What do we say these did? Don't care about that. Energy Banner was +1 strength. See, that's good. +1 strength. That will help them destroy stuff. Maybe Impetuous. If we're just careful with them, where we put them. I don't know. That's kind of actually an option. I know people hate Impetuous, but I don't know. What's this? Honorable Warfare. Failed rolls to hit. I know. Missile weapons. Fine. I don't know. Maybe the Errantry Banner is the one, but giving them Impetuous is a bit of a risky thing. I can't remember what Furious Charge was again. Extra attacks. Ah, yeah. So that's good. That's exactly the kind of thing we need. Extra attacks. First charge disrupts them, right? So they don't get. Yeah, cannot claim rank bonus. Okay, so yeah, maybe the Entry Banner. Okay, so Pegasus Knights, they're cool anyway. Right, let's put this back over here. How many do you take? How many can you like get any against a unit? It's what size are they? 40. So they're actually, wait, 40. 40's really thin. Okay, here we go. Oh, these are my Pegasus Knights. So 40, the Pegasus Knights are like this wide and this deep because they're 40 by 60. That's what it said, right? It does. It says 40 by 60. So this is a unit or like normal unit of 20 guys. So you can get in 1, 2. You can get in loads, shed loads of Pegasus Knights against a normal unit. Can you get? Let's have a look. This is what I want to know. How many can you get? So that's as many as you can get, really. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can get 5. 5 Pegasus Knights into base contact. Because 2 of these guys count as 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can get 5, so it'll be there. 5 Pegasus Knights into base contact with the front. That's a lot of damage. That's very good. Now, arguably, we'll mainly be coming in the side. So let's be like that. You can probably get 4 in the side. One, two, three, four. Oh wait, you can. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can get 4. So 4 Pegasus Knights in the side, 5 in the front. The question is, do we have a character on a Pegasus as well to join them? But yeah, five knights in the front is not shabby. And they disrupt. There's nothing that can remove, like can make people who are going to fall back in good order just fail, is there? Okay, fine. Good to know. So, okay. Yeah, so minimum of 4 then, unless you got a character in the unit. So you want minimum of 4 Pegasus, which includes any characters, and possibly 5. I think one of them is probably going to get shot before you get into contact, so maybe 5 is the right amount of characters to have, Pegasus to have, sorry, including characters. So, so if we had 5, you could still get the pilgrims and 5 Pegasus knights. Okay, and this is 1,000 points. We've got a good army. But we don't have any. I mean, I think I prefer the Knights of the Realm, but not Knights of the Realm, the Pegasus Knights. But we don't need Pilgrims and Men at Arms, do we? We got Knights of the Realm, I guess. Don't know. Trebuchet, because it's a bargain. There we go. We haven't got any characters, and Bretonnians love a good character. We also don't have any Grail Knights. Okay, let's take this down by 1. I mean, we may not need the trebuchet. We don't have any archers either, which feels wrong. I could keep the pilgrims, switch these boys for archers, maybe. They've got so many. Oh, ooh, I didn't realize these are the dudes. Okay, but we don't. I'm not caring about those in 1,000 points. Right, what are these boys like? What are our characters like? There's just so many options with magic and virtues and stuff like that. Lords of Bretonnia. Wow, there's 3 options now. Okay. Okay, Battle Standard Bearer for free. Yeah, I'm not sure how this army would play. So I think we need something to take a charge. We need something to like do the damage. And these guys are multi-purpose anyway, because they can like charge in and do loads of damage, or they can fly over to the back and take out war machines and missile troops if that's what they've got. I don't think we need the men at arms and the battle pilgrims. I think that's unnecessary to have both. We've got to take. We have to take men at arms. Oh, we have to take Knights of the Realm and yeah, 1 Knights of the Realm and 1 men at arms or bowmen. So maybe we ditch the men at arms and take archers instead. All right, let's do that for this for now. Peasant bowmen, 50 points, bargain. Interesting. I mean, they've got so many options. Skirmishers. Yeah. Okay. Fine. There's a lot of options for peasant bowmen. Like defensive stakes. Will I ever need defensive stakes? I'm not sure I care about any of that lot. Do they have, can I use the arrowhead formation? Is that a thing anymore? No, I don't think it is. I'm sure one of the early pictures had them in arrowhead formation. What do these do? Flaming attacks, probably. Yeah, I don't care about flaming attacks. It's a shame because that's a cool thing, but and I don't think I'd care about defensive stakes. I looked at them and then didn't because there was too much rain. Stakes placed, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Yeah, great. Enemy units. Uh, Disordered charge. What's a disordered charge? A unit does not gain the initiative modifier for charging. Oh, interesting. Oh, lost it. What was I looking at? Defensive stakes. So they don't get the initiative modifier, and they become disrupted. Wow, that's crazy. Dangerous terrain chest. What cavalry? What? Defensive stakes are ridiculous. And almost worth putting your units in, like having 20 guys with a full command that just sit there. Wow. Huh, that was unexpected. I didn't realize archers were going to be that good. Defensive stakes is very, very good. Yeah, I mean, they're not going to get charged by cavalry, but they can't move, so they'll just be there the entire game, basically. Remain there for the duration of the game. Unless the unit moves, should the unit move for any reason, the stakes are lost or removed from play. I just had visions briefly. Oh, you could as well. You could literally claim a corner of the battlefield and stake it up with your trebuchets behind it. And have like, it'd be really hard to beat that, right? Because you, the front rank of a charging unit making a disordered charge, which was they lose their initiative modifier. They become disrupted, so they don't get any rank bonus. Wow. And cavalry take dangerous terrain test. Blimey. Yeah, that's a legit tactic. What's the range on a longbow? Because you could literally just form yourself a little fort around your trebuchets. What would you have to do to win that combat? Like units of how I said these guys are dirt cheap, right? Unit size of 10. If you had 20 of them, you're probably even going to win that combat. 110 points. Like win a combat against anything? Is that true? I don't know. I don't know. It feels just very, very good. Maybe not win a combat against anything. That's probably uh, over exaggeration. But you win a lot better than you'd expect to. Yeah, you need a standard bearer. But would you care about a musician and a villain? Villain? It's just a champion. I don't know why I'm looking at that. How much better is he than the other guys? I can't believe the archers are actually really good. He's ballistic skill 4, so he's better. Right, very interesting. And longbows, 30-inch range, volley fire. Yeah, so you could be volley firing. Interesting. Yeah, very good. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Fine, let's take these guys just to get our points worth. 20. 20 peasant bowmen. Defensive stakes. Is it the entire front rank gets defensive stakes? Can you just make a really long unit for 10 point? No, yeah, 10 points. The stakes are placed in base contact with this front arc. You can just stake up an entire. Wait. All measurement to and from the unit is done from the unit itself. Ignore the stakes. Unit. Uh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Defensive stakes. Who knew? Anyone who read the rules, I guess. You could literally have a unit of 20 in a big long line, all with defensive stakes. I don't know if that's good or not, but you can certainly have blocks of 20 defending a trebuchet. Even one block of 20 defending a trebuchet is fine. Yeah, very interesting. All right, let's take them. Battle pilgrims to take a charge and be unbreakable. Peasant bowmen who may actually be able to win a fight with defensive stakes. Disordering a unit. They get no rank bonus. They lose their initiative. Not that matters actually. They're probably just a peasant bowman aren't going to kill anyone. But yeah, losing their ranks I think is the key thing. Oh, and dangerous terrain. Yes, dangerous terrain. Very good. Okay. Yeah, cool. Okay. 5 knights around because we've got to have them. 20 peasant bowmen because we've got to have them. Battle pilgrims, Pegasus knights, field trebuchet, which leaves some for. So we could make the Knights of the Realm good with a what's her face in it, or even a character in it, or we could put the character in a Pegasus Knights. 150 points. How many Grail Knights can we get for 150 points? 3. But that's a thing. But we don't have any points left for a dude. Right, let's get rid of them for now. Grail Knights. Man, Grail Knights cool. Are they cool enough to, like, could 3 do anything? 3 Grail Knights. How good? Oh, 3 Grail Knights. Right. 2 strength 4. I mean, what do they dish out? They've got a Bretonnian Wars. I think I prefer Pegasus Knights to Grail Knights because their cavalry does 2 strength 4 attacks, which is so good. Can I get a prophetess in this army? I feel like I can. I kind of want the prophetess on. Yeah, 1,000 points. Maybe a prophetess on Pegasus. Let's have a look. I mean, she's not going to be my general. She could be the general. Not very inspiring general. But the peasants can't use it. The pilgrims were unbreakable. They are. Only if there's a Grail Knight. Okay, so we need a Grail Knight for the pilgrims. Fine. We might. No, we can't afford Grail Knights if we get a prophetess. Damn it. Royal Pegasus. Yeah, we are out of points for Grail Knights. I mean, we could swap the pilgrims for a unit of men at arms. That's doable also. And then we don't have to worry about Grail Knights. But we don't get a cool Grail Reliquary looking unit. Because this army is going to look quite cool on the battlefield. It's got like all of the different things, kind of. That prophetess in the Pegasus Knights, that's expensive. There would be no general. The knights are just doing their own things. Oh yeah, and the battle pilgrims are useless. So maybe it's overkill. 5 points. Yeah, it's a lot. All right, fine. Let's remove her. That was brief. Let's take the 3 Ground Knights with all of the things. I don't know if they can. What have we got? 15 points. What was the gauntlet? The gauntlet meant someone couldn't refuse. Yeah, they're not going to refuse. No one's going to refuse it. Fine. We don't need anything for these guys anyway. Okay, 3 Ground Knights. Because Ground Knight virtues. Virtues? Discipline. What's that do? Oh, I can march. Nice. That's actually very good. First round of combat. I don't care about that. Virtue of confidence. Reroll. Oh, wait a minute. Reroll failed rolls to hit. Ah, we don't need it. We don't need it. Okay, fine. We do need a character. We don't have a character yet. And the best we can get is a paladin. That's if we take the battle pilgrims. If we don't take the battle pilgrims, we don't have to take the ground knights. But we love the ground knights. 3 ground knights. Are they worth it? Are they even worth it? 3 ground knights? But we could put a character in the unit of ground knights, and then they could be good. Maybe. We don't have many points. Put a paladin in with the ground knights. Ooh, damsel. Oh, wait. Damsel in with the ground knights. Because she can take the... yeah. Okay, well, oh, I lost my video. Where is it? There it is. It's meant to be flown on top. Weird. Okay. Maybe I minimized it. Yeah, damsel. I mean, she'd have to be the general. But does anybody care? The peasant bowmen can't use the general's leadership anyway. The knights of the realm, I don't know if I care. What about the Pegasus knights? The Pegasus knights do care. They're only leadership 8. Nah, I don't care. They'll be on their own most of it anyway. She only needs 1 spell. She just needs the good spell. Give her a I can give her a Bretonnian Wars. What's the difference? That one gets barding, and this one doesn't. Light cavalry. It gets fast cavalry and swift stride. She doesn't need that. She's better off with a barded warhorse. Can she take barding? Yeah, wizards can have barding, surely. That gives her a 6+ armor save. But she doesn't need it. She's going to be in the middle of a unit. She's not going to be in the middle of a unit. Kind of in the middle of a unit. Okay. Unicorn. What does a unicorn do? It's a monstrous cavalry. It does a whole bunch of stuff that I can't bother to read through right now. Fine, just give her a warhorse. Okay, so a damsel. She's the general. That feels so weird calling her the general. I'm surprised it even lets you make her the general. So damsel to go with, probably with the ground knights, just to make them harder. Is it worth it? No, I'd probably be better off. Rather than making them harder, I'm not having a damsel. I'm having a paladin. Why did I go with 14? Because I wanted 20. Do I need to have 20? I don't know. I'm going to sneeze, bear with me. I'm sure I've got a mute button on it somewhere, but there we go. Anyway, yeah, I could ditch a Pegasus Knight, but I want Pegasus Knights to be really good. Alright, let's have a Paladin with heavy armor, shield, the Grail Vow on a Bretonnian Warhorse. He's too many points. There we go. So we are changing something. He doesn't even have a lance. Yeah, too expensive. So get rid of a couple of pilgrims. Yes, they're planning to be unbreakable. I do not need 14. So let's get rid of a rank. 9, 15, 2 ranks. Have these guys got Horde anyway? Grail, Reliquary do not have Horde, so they can only get 2 ranks anyway. So there we go. Good to know. So there we go. Unit of 15 Battle Pilgrims. Frees up some points for our Paladin. Yeah, they're just going to take a charge. They'll be fine taking a charge. Oh yeah, it wasn't for ranks. It was for wounds. That's why I had 20. There we go. Yeah, 9 is fine. 9 is fine. Yeah. What's their minimum unit size? They have a minimum unit size? Yeah, 5 is their minimum unit size, isn't it? Okay, fine. But they've got a Grail Reliquary anyway. You could literally just take a Grail Reliquary on its own. Not that I would. Okay, Battle Pilgrims. Trebuchet, Grail Knights. A Paladin to go in the Grail Knight unit. That's where this guy's going. That's the plan. So, he's got all of the things. He needs a Lance. I mean, maybe I'm better off with a Great Weapon than a Lance. Almost, well, maybe I'm better off with a Magic Weapon, actually. Let's just give him a hand weapon and get him a magic weapon. He's the general. He's not a battle standard bearer because he needs to be a general. He's got the Grail Vow. He's on a war horse. He can only take 50 points worth of magic items, but what's the Dragon Slaying Sword? Monster Slayer. I mean, it was good. Headsman's Axe. Killing Blow. Nice. +1 strength. What is he? Strength 5? Strength 4? Normally? Same. That'll make him strength 5. -1 AP, killing blows, good. So strength 4 basic, yeah. Yeah, I mean Headsman's Axe is cool. Giant Blade is just +1 strength. Multiple wounds, 2, so there's 2 wounds per hit. I mean that's good. Magical attacks, 2 wounds per hit. Is there one that gives you +1 attack apart from Berserker Blade? No, maybe not. Armor of Meteoric Iron. Wizarding Hat. Ruby Ring of Ruin. Wait, he can take the Ruby Ring of Ruin? I mean, Ruby Ring of Ruin is good. It's 24-inch range? Ruby Ring of Ruin? Where is it? Where'd it go? Lost it. Right. Ruby Ring of Ruin, Fireball, 24-inch range. I mean, that's just a lot of range. 2d6 strength 4 hits. That's hard to argue with. Man, that's good. Where was I going to stick him in the Ground Knights? He could go anywhere. Knights around Ground Knights. He can't go in the Pegasus Knights. Yeah. Is he likely to use it much? Don't know. I mean, I like it. And then, can we give him the Gauntlet of the Duel as well? What's the Gauntlet of the Duel do? Can't be refused. Give someone the Gauntlet of the Duel. What other options are there? 5 points, nothing. Burning Blade. That's just, literally just flaming magical attacks. I don't know. Just give this guy a Gauntlet of the Duel. Boom. There you go. Yeah, done. Right, there we go. That's 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 kind of quite an interesting 1,000 points. Got my unbreakable unit for taking the charge. I've actually got 3 units of knights. Yeah, there we go. I've got peasant bowmen to protect my field trebuchet. Yeah, it's probably a bit knight heavy, really. But I mean, it wouldn't be Bretonnians without them, right? Maybe I should swap the Grail Knights for a unit of men at arms. But there we go. Anyway, so that was a little bit of fun. Definitely sidetracked. That helmet does not look like a Bretonnian helmet, but there we go. Cool. All right. Well, that was definitely a bit of a difference to the goblins that I've been playing with for the last I don't know how many episodes. Maybe I do Bretonnians in the not too distant future. I mean, this wouldn't be a hard army to paint. Um, Bowmen, easy to paint. Try brush them up. You can't buy the bowmen at the moment, can you? Where's Games Workshop website? Do I have it open? Let's have a quick look. Warhammer. I don't think you can buy archers at the moment. Unless you are. No, I just want to find. Where are they? Old World. Britannia. So you can get them in there. 155 squidders. I don't need most of the stuff that's in here. I mean, I actually don't have. Oh yeah, so this is the reason I'm looking at archers. It's because I've only got 8 of the peasant bowman archers. Most of my archers are the old ones that came in the 5th edition box set. So it might be quite cool to get some peasants. 18 quid for 3 guys just seems loads. Oh, they're 30 quid for the 2. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, 50 quid for 12. So there's squires. Yeah, no. I wonder when they're going to release them. The men at arms and the peasant bowman. I mean, he's a bargain compared to half the other stuff. Like, when you consider, where are they? These guys, those 3 guys for 36 quid, or the Green Knight for 25. I know who I'd go with. Yeah, Pegasus Knights, good. Dude on a Royal Pegasus. Yeah, cool. I mean, I don't know what I'd use those guys for. Yeah, archers, eh? Peasant archers. Okay, well, that was just to see. So at the moment, where are we? Here we go. At the moment, I don't have the peasant longbowmen. Knights around, Pegasus Knights, Battle Pilgrims, Trebuchet, Grail Knights. So they will be quite fun to do. Like I say, it's not a huge amount to paint up. That's easy to paint. 3 Grail Knights. Do them all individually. Pegasus Knights, Battle Pilgrims are relatively quick to paint, probably. Knights around. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not a huge army in terms of models. There's not much there at all. Um, so yeah, who knows? Anyway, just a brief deviation from the Night Goblins, just because I went down a bit of a rabbit trail earlier, and there we are. That's a potential option for a future Bretonnian list. All right. Well, hopefully that was an interesting little video, and yeah, learnt a few things in there. Hopefully there were some insights in there for you as well. But that's we'll call it there, and thanks for watching. Until next time. If I can work out how to end my video. All right. Catch you later.